Good morning, traders. How's everybody doing today? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Hey, guys. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Sally. Sharpshooter in the house. Dan. Lots of familiar names, lots of new names. Great to have you guys here. Feeling a bit better. Phil, thanks for asking. Yeah, appreciate that. Slow and steady. Lots of fluids. Good rest. One day at a time. Yeah. Anybody here joining us for the first time new here? Welcome all the new traders. Thank you guys for joining us. Hope you guys are enjoying your morning. Have a good day trading. Where's all my algo traders? Type an A in the chat box if you're an algo trader. Type an A if you like automated systems, automation, building, testing, back testing, optimization, everything like that. Great. Well, you're in the right event, that's for sure. Glad to have you guys here. Who in here uses VWAP? Anybody in here using VWAP? Anybody here look at VWAP as a system or just as a way of trading? Anybody here looking at VWAP? Type a yes if you look at VWAP. I want to know how many of you guys are looking at VWAP or volume weighted average price or, anything of the nature. Yes? Type a V if you use volume in your trading to some extent. Where's all my volume traders at? Type a V if you use volume to any part of your trading. Great. Then this is going to be an amazing event. Got a lot of traders and you're going to benefit from this. Great. Fantastic. Anybody here just joining us their first time? Type an N if you're new to Tickblaze. Type an N if you're new to our webinars, if you're new to the Tickblaze marketplace, if you're new to just everything that we do. Always love to welcome new traders. Welcome, David. Glad to have you here. Anthony's new. Welcome, Anthony. Perfect. Welcome, everybody. All right. Well, we're going to kick this off here right at the top of the hour because we've got lots to talk about. And this is going to be an event where we go into a lot of examples and a lot of discussion because volume is a very hot topic. And what we've done with it is incredible. So, first and foremost, welcome to today's presentation. My name is Sean Kozak. I'm the CEO of Tickblaze. I'm also head of system development. I'm a trader. I work with all the developers building and being an architect on strategies and systems and you name it. If the market moves, I'm touching it, right? So for those of you that have ever been to these presentations, this is a marketplace webinar. We have a marketplace inside of the Tickblaze trading platform for indicators and algorithms and apps and boot camps and just everything to do with helping traders. And when we do a launch event, it's because we're bringing a new product to the marketplace. Now, this is called the CWAP Algo, and CWAP is a better variation of VWAP. And CWAP is what we call cumulated volume, and it's actually more responsive, it's more accurate. It has a better response rate than using standard VWAP because we're actually using tick data to look internally in the bars to calculate accumulated volume, which is just more accurate and it's more efficient for day traders and for scalpers, right? But what we've done with it is we've automated the volume process for mapping structure analysis for us to be able to let an automated algo calculate market structure and then plot volume as a trend trading system. Now, this isn't some new concept. This is something we've been doing for a very long time. We have hundreds of traders trading this system on other platforms. We've brought it over from the NinjaTrader side and we're putting it into the Tickblaze marketplace. And if you're somebody that trades pullbacks, if you're somebody that trades trends, or if you're somebody that looks at VWAP or even CWAP, if you have anything advanced that you've coded for this, I can promise you that this is going to be right up your alley. Now, when I do these presentations, I can't read the chat box constantly. My team is here to help with any type of questions. And ultimately, if you have them, just put them in the chat box. We'll get to them at the end of the presentation. We are doing a giveaway and we've got some exciting discounts for the launch here. So make sure you stick around to the end so that way you are able to be a part of it. Yeah, we are recording, Nicholas, and we will send it out via email today. So don't worry, you'll be in good shape if you have to step out. Yeah. All right, guys, so let's get into it. Now, we are talking about trading, financial markets, everything in between, right? So, obviously, the markets bear risk, and we are ultimately here to provide education and tools. We can't guarantee performance. So, if you guys can please take a look and read that disclaimer and type a Y in the chat box if you accept it so that we can move forward like professionals. So, I know everybody here is ready to proceed. Thank you. Great. Thanks, everybody. So one of the things for those of you that are new, for those of you that have been to my presentations, you know I follow the same cadence, and I will continue to follow this cadence because I just believe that it makes sense. We're not here to give you any bullshit, right? Like trading is trading, and I know that you've been to probably a million webinars, and everybody's here to sell you the next best thing, and it's the holy grail, and oh my God, this is going to move mountains. I got no time for that. Why? Because that's not ethical, and ultimately nobody believes it anyways, right? So for me, it's all about results. As an algo developer, one of the best things that we can do is we can validate the system based on its own performance. We don't have to sit there and pretend that the strategy does this or does that, or believe me or believe that. All that matters is, does the strategy make money, and can we show that it's been making money historically with a very good track record? And if it has enough merit, then we bring it to market. Now, this strategy is probably one of the most successful systems we've ever seen in terms of performance. You'll be able to make that decision by looking at the stats when we go over the stats. For those of you that know anything about performance, profit factors, win-loss ratios, all of that stuff, you'll be able to be the judge, juror, and executioner. I just like to be here to demonstrate this stuff because there's no fluff, there's no snake oil, there's no sales pitch around it, right? We're here to show you an edge. We've got amazing tools, and this software is incredible. You'll be able to see how incredible here in just a moment. And I think that normally has a better approach than just trying to sell you the heavens. Yes, give me a yes if that makes sense, guys, to you. We're all here to, you know, learn and to develop, but we're not here to feed a line of bullshit, right? I think it's important. I like to lead with this because, there's a lot of promises out there that never deliver, and we try to stay away from that. Okay, so let's get into it. Quick agenda. To me, the CWAP algo is sexy. And why is it sexy? Because of what it does and how it calculates. And the logic behind the algorithm is just badass. I mean, if you're going to run an automated system, not every algo is traded equally. What we've done with the CWAP is incredible. And the stats alone are going to blow you away. I just think that this is one of those systems you just load it, turn it on, and let it trade. And you love it because you can see the trades happening in advance. You know when the trade's going to happen. So it's kind of one of those forecasting algos where you can actually see things in advance. How many of you guys like to know when you're getting into a trade before it happens? How many of you guys like to see proactively and be able to anticipate the trade and be able to plan the trade and be able to see it unfolding? To me, I always love doing that because I don't like reactive markets. I don't like reactive systems. Why is that important? Well, because it makes me more of a patient trader. So we're going to go through a quick agenda. We're going to go through all of this stuff, and then we're going to get right into the algo demo. We've got some videos. We've got a lot of examples we're going to show you here so you can understand how the algo operates, and then you'll be able to potentially win a free license. So make sure you stick around to the end. Okay. So to me, it's all about the data. And I do believe that, as an algo developer, one of the things that I like about systems is I get a lot of time spending on the data. Okay. We already know that most of you are struggling with this. Like, we already know that the majority of you are dealing with something in this left list. Can you guys just put a yes in the chat box if you can relate with some of these problems? Realistically, I already know the truth. I just need to know if you guys can see it. How many of you guys would agree that you have problems with some of this? Yes or no? Absolutely. It's not fun. Sometimes it's really difficult to know that you miss trades you've been planning, or that you don't have really good stats, or maybe you're not doing well, your strategies are not working, or you're actually over trading, or you're doing things, you're not making enough money, right? Whatever the situation is, automation is not meant to be a holy grail. It's meant to be better. It's meant to improve everything. It's meant to minimize the emotions. It's not going to remove them, but it's going to minimize them. One of the things it's going to do is it's going to improve your efficiency. But 10 out of 10 times, this is the only thing I really care about. Why? Because everything else is a bonus. This is the meat. Why is it the meat? Well, I'll tell you, if you have two strategies, okay, and I always do this, and I'm going to keep doing this because it's the backbone to everything. If you, if I said, hey, can you send me 500 trades of your strategy? Or can you show me 100 of your trades logged and show me the efficiency of your edge? How many of you guys think you could do that? Show me how many of you guys can send me a folder with 100 screenshots and 100 log trades and all the notes on those trades and whether or not you have an edge. I already know crickets. Exactly, crickets. And here's the reality. It's because most people don't know if they have an edge or not. Most people are trading discretionarily. They are assuming that it's going to work. They're going to assume that they have alpha, and it's all a big question mark. The reason automation is so superior is that we remove all of this, but we also get to see if the strategy performed historically. Now, let me explain something to you. Trading is all about the unknown edge in the future. We never know if the market's going to produce something tomorrow or the next day or anything of that, right? And what happens is we all are down this vision of hope, right? We hope tomorrow is going to be a certain condition, or we hope tomorrow is going to be doing this or that so I can trade it well. And what happens is every single day is different. And this is why traders struggle, is that every single day is absolutely different. There's never been the same day ever in the history of the financial markets. Not one single day has ever been exactly the same as the prior day. And so it creates this level of difficulty, which means most of your strategies are going to be constantly changing, or the environment that your strategies are traded in are going to be changing. And so when we run a back test or when we run an optimization, the goal is to find that historically, because it's going to give us the likelihood of profitability in the future. I say the likelihood because nobody has a guarantee. But let me explain something to you. If you have two ways of trading, okay, if I sat you down, I said, okay, if you choose path A is I'm not sure if the strategy worked well in the past, or path B, this strategy did this in the past. Which one are you more likely going to believe in trading, or at least have a more comfort wanting to approach trading? Which one? Are you going to more likely go with path B, or are you going to take a gamble on path A? You tell me. How many of you guys would want to see some results, some proof in the pudding that the strategy you're about to trade has the likelihood of really good success? How many of you guys would choose path B or path A? Just put in the chat box, path B or path A. I just need to know. Anybody in here that puts path A, okay, is either drunk or they're completely not understanding what I'm talking about. Why? Because I don't care who you are, the human psychology of the brain automatically will always gravitate towards success first. It's a business of money and it's a business of risk. And if we have the ability to see that we can be more successful and we can be more efficient, everything in our human DNA is going to gravitate towards that, which is everything about automated systems, because we get to remove all of the barriers and we get to look for alpha. Now, this is exciting because what we've done with the CWAP algo is that we've done some pretty incredible things that you cannot do manually. Okay, first of all, it automatically executes all your trades. It's a fully automated system. Okay. It trades directional markets. And if the markets are not in a directional state, it doesn't trade. So it filters out non-directional situations. So you say, well, a lot of times trend traders, they get crushed in non-trending markets. Well, this system will not trade if it's not going to be trending. The strategy will automatically look for the conditions to be met before it executes, which is genius because now you're not sitting there forcing a strategy in the wrong conditions. The way in which we run cluster analysis, what we do for this is the way that VWAP works is it basically looks at the volume of every bar. Well, the problem with that is that it's not as accurate as CWAP. CWAP, okay, is always more accurate than VWAP. And what CWAP does is inside of every single candle, right, you have volume clusters inside of the bar. We're not looking at closed volume. We're looking at the volume inside of the candles so that it's way, way, way more accurate. There's volume clusters inside the candle, which then creates a much more accurate VWAP. That's why it's called CWAP. And you're going to see this when we get into the actual images of it just being a superior algorithm. So what's cool is that it automatically does everything for you. Plus, it's using more accurate volume than VWAP. Now, it uses pullbacks. So this is a pullback trading system. Most traders understand pullbacks. It looks at volume clusters inside of the bar, and then it basically allows us to use volatility of market structure to make sure that we are on the right side of the market. Now, all of this is built into the actual system. It uses tick level backtesting. It automatically uses execution. It does everything that the strategy needs to do. But the key here is that this is the meat of what it's doing inside of the system. Now, you can take a screenshot of this. We're going to get into this, but this is what the CWAP looks like. So you're going to find that it's going to create movement. So let me explain how this works. Okay. So let's say the market does this. Okay. So the market pulls back, it creates a boss level, and we're looking at breaks of structure. So whenever we get an impulse move and we create a boss, which is considered a break of structure, okay, this is what that dotted line is. And that's what this dotted line is. Okay. Whenever we break structure, key structure levels, this system automatically forecasts a CWAP band. This is a volume band. This is a volume band. Okay. And what it does is it forecasts where volume is expected to be trailing price. And you're going to notice that you're going to get incredible entries on these. Like why this is so powerful is that it uses anchored CWAP, but it automates anchored CWAP into the concepts. A lot of traders use anchored VWAP, and a lot of traders will use the tool. Some of you guys use it. Some of you guys will draw manual profiles. This does it all automatically for you. So it's going to create the anchor. It's going to give you the boss break, and then it's going to forecast with very, very, very clean trades. Like it's incredible trades. Like, and you're going to see this when we go into the examples. Here's an example of it taking short trades. It creates a break of structure, plots the level, winning trade, creates the break of structure. It pulls right back to the volume, big move, creates the break of structure, pulls right back to volume, move. This all does it automatically. Okay. And, here's a great example of it going short again. You can see here, it just plots the break of structure. It sends the volatility band. It gives you the clean trade. It automatically places the stop. It automatically places the target. You can hear the stop and the target. And what's really nice is that we can actually optimize the stops and targets distance based off of volume. A lot of traders, they hope that the market's going to give them this perfect pullback and it's going to keep going, right? Because the band hits and you get the trade. Well, nobody knows how much target to go for. And a lot of times traders are always asked, well, how big of a stop loss should I have? How big of a target should I have? Well, that's the job of the algo. That's not the job of you or me. The job of the algo is to tell us we should have a certain size stop and target because it's going to give you the efficiency that we look for. You don't need for this to trade all the way down here. Sure, it could. But if all you do is look for really, really clean scalp trades off these levels, and it gives you really, really high win rates with really, really big profit factors, that's all that matters. You as a trader do not need to be perfect. You need to make a lot of money. And that is the goal of this algo, is that it is going to give you very clean assessment of the market. In fact, this is what it looks like. You are going to have structure lines, you are going to have boss break lines, and you are going to have CWAP levels, and you will have everything plotted automatically. Here's another example of a clean short, right? Now, you can see this is the support level. It breaks the support level. It automatically picks the anchor. You don't have to worry about which bar it picks. It picks the anchor. It calculates the volume because inside of this leg, there's volume in every single candle. And what we're doing is we're calculating the volume based off the clusters inside of every single candle, which is what that band is formed. And price pulls back right to CWAP, and there's your stop loss, and bing, bang, boom. Really, really clean shorts. Does everybody understand that? Let's look at some longs, okay? Take a look at the longs. Now you can see here, this is a great example of it taking a short trade, boom, profit. Then we shift the structure. You can see it breaks the structure up, and then it comes back, and you can see it gives you a nice long trade for a profit. Does everybody see this? Really, really good. It takes the short trade, it takes the long trade here, it takes the short trade here, it takes the long trade here. Really, really clean charts. You don't have to worry about a lot of indicators because we're not using indicators. We're using volume, and we're using price, and we're using market structure breaks, which is really, really, really clean analysis. It shows the exit. Yeah, the exits are the targets. So the exits are these green lines. So if you look here, the stop loss is here and the target is here. So the entry is here, target, right? The entry was here, stop loss here, target here. It's automatically just scalping. Yeah, let's go in and actually take a look at some other examples. So here's a great example of longs and shorts. So this was the anchor plotted. The entry came in clean. Here was the target, target. Here was the target, target. Very, very clean entries. Very clean stops and targets. Yeah. Let's continue to go through here. Here's a great example. You can see the lines. The dotted red lines are the stop loss, and the dotted the green lines are the target. So you see here, this created the entry. Here's the stop loss, and here is the target. Here is the stop loss. Here is the target. Like you're getting literally profitable trades right on the same candle. Like a lot of traders are hoping that you catch your pullback and then you get this big, big run. As a prop trader, which almost every single one of you are, you don't really need to capture the big run. You just need to make money. How many of you guys would more make a lot of money than to be right all the time? Well, this makes a lot of money with very high win rates. So you get the best of both worlds. You get to be right a lot and have huge profit factors. So, how many of you guys want big profit factors in your trading? Give me a yes or no. How many of you know what a profit factor is? Everybody here know what profit factor is? Profit factor is the measure of your expectancy of profit, right? And the lower your drawdown, the higher your win rate, the better your R multiple gives you a better profit factor, right? How many of you guys would love to have profit factors over 3? How many of you guys would love to have profit factors over 5? Yes? Yeah. Well, you're going to see here in just a minute. You're going to see why this is such an exciting algo. It's probably the best algo you'll ever buy. I mean, I say that on all of our systems because I'm biased and I get excited. But the truth of the matter is the stats will tell you. You can look at the stats and the stats don't lie, right? So you can assess the statistics and see, because that's the best part about the strategies, is that they'll tell you if it's a better system or not. And it's actually easier to trade because traders understand this. Traders know they can turn it on. You can let it run and just let the algo forecast everything. It just plots the levels, it plots the CWAP, it executes the trades. You don't need to do anything, right? Now, this is the strategy showing, over a period of time. And you can take a look, like that's a pretty good return on a trading system, right? Like we're not talking big, big contracts here. Like you can take a look here, like we're talking up and to the right, right? Like strategy just performs. Like it performs constantly. And we've done this is on the S&P, right? So that's on the ES on a 1-minute chart, which is great. You can run this on a 1-minute chart. You can run this on volume charts, tick charts. You can run this on anything, right? It doesn't have to be timed. You don't have to run special bar types or anything like this. You can just run this on a 1-minute time frame and rock it, right? And so here's gold on a 1-minute chart. Huge on gold. Gold just rips. Gold's massive on this. Like gold, the CWAP on gold is just crazy, 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 crazy. Like it's insane, crazy. Just incredible performance. Incredible. Like incredible. Here's the Nasdaq. Like just blows me away how good the strategy performs on these markets. Like it's incredible. Like this is March 17th and just we did it all up to like yesterday, or this picture was taken like this is March. This is March, right? This is March. Up and to the right just constantly. And that's the thing is that like how many of you guys would love to do that in March? You know? I mean, any of you guys you can run these on prop accounts. You could run this with Prop Shop Trader. You could run this with any other. I mean, we have the ability, there's a little button that you can actually turn the algo off. So that way it's compliant with prop firms. And it's just super amazing. Like, how many of you guys would love to see these types of results in your trading? Yes or no? I mean, this is March. Like this was March. This is March. Yeah. So, it's incredible what it's done. Let's go take a look at the strategy. So I'm just going to play these. I'm going to play these, and we're going to let it play. So you can see here the structure broke. Just watch what it does. I'm going to let this run. It's going to play the algo, and we're going to let it play. So you can see here that the band is plotted. It's going to calculate it, executes as soon as you touch the band. It doesn't wait for a candle close. It's using intrabar entries, and you get such clean reactions out of the CWAPs. And that's the killer is like you get such really clean trades. Like it's such a clean trading system. Like there's no like weird patterns or you need to do this or do that. It's like you're just trading a pullback, but you're trading a pullback into volume. You're not trading a pullback into random EMAs, right? And that's the key is that like if you're going to run a trading system, like you want to run it and you want to know what it's doing, right? Let's take a look at this one. Okay, there's two charts simultaneously. Can everybody see this? Let's run this. So you can see the charts are trading and you're in an uptrend. Structure just broke and it tags the CWAP and basically it two trades simultaneously. So it tags the CWAP on the trades and basically, the stop loss is plotted and it calculates your intrabar P&L on the algo. You can see down here, right? Calculates and just there's the target and there's the target. Like it's that simple. Like it literally is that simple, guys. It's the market's going to trade, it's going to plot. Down here was a target too. This is just a different example, but yeah, you guys can get the picture. Let's show you another example here. Here's another example here. So this is the market. You can see it's an ES on a 1 minute. Okay. And so what ends up happening is the market's going to create a break of structure. It's going to start populating the band. And as the band populates, this market's going to trade up and it's going to connect. And as soon as it connects into that, it's going to give you the stop loss. It's going to plot the target. Does everybody understand that? This is for everybody here that just needs to know what the system's doing. So watch it. You can see the band plotting. It's the green band in the background there. There it is. It just updates automatically on every bar. As soon as price touches the band, boom, there's your entry and there's your target. Bing, bang, boom. Like it's that simple. We're not looking to it for it to, yes, you could hold on for the trade to come all the way down here. But we have a lot of stats that show these bands give incredible reactions. So let me explain something. Most traders are trying to take huge moves out of the market all the time. Unless you're trading on hourly time frames or if you're trading on big time frames where you can capture the meat of the week or the meat of the day and you understand how to swing trade the market, 90% of day traders get that wrong. And so what we've seen statistically is traders make a whole lot more money when they can just get into a trade, boom, boom, be done. Just quick base hits. Who cares if it gives you T1 and T2 and T3 because these are all not replaceable. Nobody can give you the expectancy of how often it's going to hit T1 and then T2 and T3 because every single target is an independent instance of a trade. And therefore, your stats are never, ever going to be the same if you're trying to capture everything. But if you can build a trading business around very quick targets and stops, You're in the market for short periods of time, which basically reduces your exposure to risk, and it also increases your ability to collect targets quickly. And so we're a big believer on getting in and getting out quickly for day trades because you can size up on really liquid markets like this and make a lot of money. And so let's take a look at another example. Here's another example. Let's keep it going. So this will just show you an example. And it's a pretty basic system. Like it's not, what's complicated is all the volume going on inside the candles for it to plot the candle and plot the bar. Like we have to run an algorithm internally. The algorithm plots the clusters of volume inside every single candle. And then what it does is it forecasts the volume band so that it forecasts that automatically. Yeah. So here's a great example. Let's take a look at the longs. Yes, the algo determines the trend direction automatically, Richard. Yes, it uses market structure breaks for boss. Yes, it's using the strength of a trend. Yes, 100%. That's the whole point. It automatically will not execute unless you're in a trending market or a condition that breaks major structure. Yeah. That's the best part about the system. You're not going to be trading in a market that doesn't make sense. Here's a long, it broke a major level, major area. It breaks structure, plots the anchor. There's the volume. It's going to touch it. Here's the execution. Great, great reactions. Boom, boom, boom. Time in the market is limited. Scalps are really ideal here. Let's take another look here. Here's another long example. So this one is speeded up. So this is, you can see the volume band trailing price. It updates every single bar. Volume is updating every single candle based on accumulated volume. There's the reaction, and price just gives you the band. The band is not some random fictitious picture on a chart. Like a lot of times traders say, oh, look at that pretty green thing. That pretty green thing is everything. It's volume. And it's volume that is basically mapped out of all of these candles that is forecasted where volume at price is supposed to be. VWAP would be lagging. VWAP would be down here. CWAP is always going to lead VWAP, right? If you're looking at a chart, right, and you have the market prices going like this and like this, CWAP will always touch price before VWAP. VWAP is always lagging to CWAP, which is why CWAP is always going to be a more accurate trading system than VWAP. 110%. Okay, so here's another example breaking down. Price trades down, huge break in structure. Here's a trade that hit target already. Here's another break in structure. You get the reaction right away as it breaks. There it is. And you can see the reactions. They come so quickly out of the bands because when price touches these bands, we expect volume to be there. We expect volume to push price. That's the whole point of CWAP. Like this isn't some random color on a chart. This is volume at price that is calculated based off of the impulse leg. So this green band is a factor of every candle in that impulse. So as the candles are going down, candles are going down, candles are going down, candles are going down, there's volume clusters inside of these bars. So what we do is we calculate the volume clusters and we forecast where the trend should be based off volume. So when we break the structure, we come down, we pull back to it because it's using volume forecasting, which is ingenious in and of itself because you're not having to use tools to do it manually and you don't have to figure out which bar is the anchor and you don't have to worry, did we truly break price and is this really on the right side of the market? And it does it all automatically for you. So how many of you guys want to see the results? Does everybody understand the way the strategy works? Does everybody see the way this works? Any questions on that? Give me a yes if that makes sense to everybody. It's pretty awesome, yeah? Okay. So would you guys like to see the performance of this system? Yes? Now, how do we know that the performance is good? That's the question. Well, we run it through the algo engine. So the algo engine is proprietary to Tickblaze. We built it on NinjaTrader, a version of this on NinjaTrader, but we coded a backtesting engine for Tickblaze and made it 10 times better. So why is it better? Well, we get to test the strategy across all these different variables. Think of this as a tool that takes a strategy that is okay, and we turn the strategies into awesome trading systems. How many of you guys would love to know that? How many of you guys would love to know that we have a tool that can take a trading system and make it more profitable? That's pretty badass. Like that's the compass. That's the answer to everything. We have a tool that when we plug the strategy into the tool, we then move it through all these different variables that allows us to find the best parameters to trade the system, the best stop sizes, the best target sizes, the best time of day, the best markets to trade it on, everything. This is the closest thing to giving you money, essentially. I mean, like this is the dream of every trader, is to basically have a tool that says, okay, I'm going to give you a better trading system. And it's going to make more money because we've been able to validate that all of these parameters are way better than what you were doing here with the strategy. This is what we do. So we bring it through we take the strategy, the CWAP algo, as we do all of our algos, and we bring it through the algo engine. And this is what it's done. Like this is the performance on one of the markets that we did. I can't remember which market. There's three markets. I don't know which market this was. It's either gold, the S&P, or the NASDAQ. But either way, let's take a look at this. So we have 87% win rate. Okay. And we have a 6 profit factor. That's a holy shit. That's holy shit. 6 profit factor is incredible. Insane. Insane. That's the month of March. A 6 profit factor with an 87% win rate. George says that's the best you've ever seen. That's golden, Jeff said. That's gold. Oh, this is gold, Jeff? So Jeff says this is the gold market. Okay, Jeff, maybe you can help us. So this is on GC. So this is gold. That's pretty damn amazing. Yes. How many of you guys would agree that 77,000 in profit to a $16,000 drawdown? That's incredible. One losing day in March. One losing day in this month. Okay. Let's take a look at this one. Which one is this? Which one is this, Jeff? This is the 92% win rate with an 8 profit factor. 92%. This is NQ. An 8 profit factor. It's taken 50 trades so far in the month of March. We're only 2 weeks in, guys. We're still in this week. We haven't finished. This is up to the 17th. And this was the entire month of March, a 92% win rate with an 8 profit factor. How many of you guys would say that that's holy shit? Oh, sorry. Profit factor is 15. My mistake. I was looking at the recovery factor. Profit factor is 15. My mistake. That's how many of you guys would love a profit factor of 15? If everybody knows, this is probably the most difficult thing to ever achieve in the history of our company. Holy shit, Phil says. Yeah, anybody in here that knows automated systems knows that that is next to impossible to find. We've been able to accomplish that with the CWAP. Cooney says he's never seen a 15 profit factor. No. Well, we have 92% win rates on the NASDAQ over 2 weeks of trading, right? The last 2 weeks of trading in the NASDAQ. This is incredible. Okay. Let's go to the S&P. Is this the S&P, Jeff? Is the last one the ES or what? Yeah, this is the ES. So the ES has a 3 profit factor, way more trades, 87%. So twice as many trades. I'm assuming you did it on a smaller time frame or a different fractal, but the NASDAQ was way more profitable than the S&P. Maybe it's just the way it moves or the reactions, who knows? But the best performing would be NQ, and then it goes GC, and then it goes ES. Make sense? Smaller swing strength. Yeah, so Jeff was using a smaller swing strength. So just different settings. Either way, all of these templates are pre-built. So yes, you can have this template. You can have the NASDAQ template that is doing this, right? On the S&P, an 84% win rate with a 3 profit factor across 85 trades this month. This is the S&P on this month. But either way, if you trade it all, right? Sharp says this may just be the crown prince of the algos so far. Yeah, this is the CWAP. It's an incredible trading system, probably the best we've ever built. Yeah. And people say, well, what about this system? What about it, guys? Like your business is to make as much damn money as possible and not worry about how it's done, right? And my job is to give you the best tools to do that, right? Joe says ES, let me see. ES is 84%. 84% win rate with a 3.2 profit factor. Yeah. Okay. And with the NASDAQ, it's a 92% win rate, 92% with a 15 profit factor. No other indicator displays the CWAP. There's no manual tool that does this. Yeah. There's nothing that displays the CWAP. Yeah. CWAP is built proprietary to the CWAP algo. Yeah. And then gold is an 87% with a 6 profit factor. So it's just bizarre, like how profitable. Like this is just incredible. How many of you guys would agree that this is impressive? Impressive. Yes? Totally. Totally. Beyond impressive. Beyond impressive. Yeah, we don't have any other results for the Russell or the YM. We didn't test it. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. Yeah. So what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna give away a free license, then we're gonna get into pricing so that you guys can understand. So you will get the templates for this. So can you guys put the link in here for the draw? So who's got the link? Jeffrey or Pete? Are you guys here?
Yep, I know.
You got it.
So they're going to put a link in the chat box, guys. Can everybody here fill out the survey? Take a second to fill it out. Yeah, you can connect it to Interactive Brokers, Charles. We connect to Interactive Brokers, or we can use all of the futures brokers that we clear with or anything like that. Yeah. Yeah, you can use the brokers that we're connected through on Tickblaze. Yeah. I wouldn't say so, Ed. Yeah, reoptimization isn't really required because we're using it on minute charts, and a 1 minute chart is pretty consistent, right? Like a minute chart is a minute chart. So I would really just look at the boss breaks. The only thing that changes in the system is the swing strength. There's literally only one factor, Jeff, that you're optimizing, and that's the strength of the structure. So I'll give you an example while you guys are filling this out. So if you look at it, you could have a price action that's going like this, right? Or you could have this same could do two things. You could have the zigzag go like this, right? Where it's connecting two. So it's just a matter of two different structures. And so it really is the only thing that is optimized is the changing market structure. Yeah. You don't need to be re-optimizing. We've already built the templates. You can just plug this in on the charts and you can do this. Yeah. That's the goal. Oh, Jeff says you can also optimize the size of the band. So when we ran the optimizations, we optimized the strength of the swing stress setting, so the settings, and then the size of the band, like how wide the band is, right, is what we optimize, how big the volume. Yeah, but you don't need to do a lot of filtering. No, because there's only two settings, the structure setting and then the band setting. Yeah. Yeah. So let's do a draw here, guys. Let's pick a winner.
And the winner is Frank Slegtenhorst. Frank Slegtenhorst.
Frank, are you here? Congratulations. Lady Luck is on your side. Congrats, Frank. Fantastic. That's great. Congrats, man. You deserve it, brother. Awesome. You do not need to be re-optimizing, Gene. No, because we've already built the pre-optimized templates, and you don't need to be changing your fractals because it's on a 1 minute time frame. These are on 1 minute charts, if I'm not mistaken, right, Jeff? Confirm if I'm wrong or not. These are on 1 minute time frames. All 1 minute. Yeah, all using the 1 minute chart, which is great because you're not using random bars and you don't have to change your time frames and all that. It's just you set it up on a 1 minute chart, let the market trade, let the market win and break the structure and big bang boom, right? Which is great. So if you go back, you take a look here, right? Like you're using the 1 minute chart. So you don't have to change things a lot because, like the 1 minute chart is the 1 minute chart, right? And everything is pre-optimized for you. You don't have to worry about changing the structure settings. It's pretty consistent. Yeah. It is the same, David, on NinjaTrader. Yeah. So this is we brought it over from Ninja. Yes, David. Yes. Yeah. We coded this on NinjaTrader as well, but it's no longer available. It's we had to bring it over to Tickblaze. Yeah. You could buy it on NinjaTrader if you wanted to, but you'd have to buy it through Arc AI and you'd have to pay for the annual subscription for the big package. Yeah. 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 So if you look at the NASDAQ, the number of trades per day, several, probably a couple trades per day. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. So are you guys wanting to go over pricing so we can get into the discounts? How many of you guys are excited? This is exciting. I mean, 15 profit factor on the NASDAQ is a holy shit, right? Like that's next level. Like if you're going to put any money into your business, this is something to be considering. This is way, 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 way more profitable than anything we've ever touched. Yeah. So that's exciting. You guys ready? Okay, let's get into it. So we have a launch special, as we always do on the launches. It's the best time to buy the product because we give the best discount. So everything here comes with the software. You get the algo engine for testing, you get the signal software, you get all of the optimized templates, all of the documentation and training. Tomorrow we're doing an algo VIP event, so you'll be able to join us for the AMA. And then basically it's normally 94.70 for the entire package for the systems. We drop it down to 795. So it's 91% off. Okay, you have today to do this. The offer expires in 24 hours. So if you're going to get this and you're going to join us in the event tomorrow, because we're going to be going over the webinar, we're going to be doing a private training. We're going to be going over all of the settings and all of the markets, and we're going to show you the templates, and we're going to do everything tomorrow for training on the system. So for those of you that are really, really excited about trading, trend trading with the volume, and you want to take advantage of the NASDAQ templates and the gold templates and the S&P templates, very, very rarely do we have templates for all these markets. And yeah, you could literally earn your money back in one trade, Sharpshooter says. Yeah, exactly. It's one trade. One winning trade, you pay for the algo. It's a no-brainer, guys. Like it's the best tool you could put in your toolbox. Absolutely. So yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it, guys. It's 795, 91% off, which is pretty much giving away the software, pretty much giving it away. And you could trade one trade and Bob's your uncle, right? Tomorrow we're going to be doing an event at 12 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to be going over everything about the system. We're going to be going over the markets, the time frames, the bars, the settings, the templates. We're going to be running everything and all of that. So you need to buy the software to join the event. So this is the wrong date. Wrong date. Yep. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. Right, guys? And at what time? Is that the wrong time, Jeff, or is that the right time?
That's the right time.
That's the right time. Great. So it's tomorrow. Great. Correct time tomorrow. So everybody, it's tomorrow. If you're going to be in this event, right, to understand the algo and everything, you'll have to be there. And the XLT for stocks is tomorrow, and then right after it's this. Yeah. Yeah, I'm running a stock event in the morning. Makes sense, guys? So remember, Tickblaze is free, so you don't need to buy Tickblaze. It comes with prop firms. So obviously you can download it, you can get access to it. It's it's cutting edge technology, and the apps are the cost for you to trade the systems. Yeah. So I'm going to leave it on here, and I'm going to run a poll, guys, because obviously we need to know who's coming to the AMA, and we have to send links to everybody. So if everybody could do me a favor and just put, if you're planning on purchasing the software, The reason we asked this question is because, well, we need to send you all the links. We need to send you everything that matters, right? Everything to do with the purchasing and the templates, and we got to make sure you get the webinar links and everything like that. Traders, yeah, someone's saying, is this the best system to buy if I'm planning on buying any algo? Yes, it is. It is the best algo to buy. It's the most profitable we've built this year, or even last year, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't seen stats like this ever. Yeah. Yeah. The marketplace subscription is the maintenance fee. So the maintenance fee is that we charge a maintenance fee annually for all the software. So, and it's not per product, it's for the store. So every year, and you get your first year free. So obviously, if you've bought a product, it's already been engaged. Yeah. Yeah. So this isn't, this is part of the, it's actually included. Yeah. It's a 1 year annual maintenance fee that basically gets charged to keep all the software activated. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to find a strategy that's easier than this that makes this type of money. Yeah, it's next level. Next level. Yeah. Pete, do you know if there was a discount for anybody that bought the system on Ninja on Arc? Do you know if you sent an email out for that?
There was an email went out yesterday. Another one goes out today.
So if you've purchased this algo on NinjaTrader, Anthony, and you want to buy it on Tickblaze, you'll have received an email with a special discount. Yes. Anybody that bought this, because we did code this on NinjaTrader as well, and it's on the NinjaTrader platform. Yeah. And yeah, didn't see the email. Just email Pete and email in. And you got the code, Robert? Yeah. Great. Please answer the poll, guys. We really need everybody to answer the poll. It really is a deal breaker for us because we need to be able to send you the right links. We need to invite you. We need to make sure that you get the right coupons. Like everything is important to this. It really is about knowing if you're planning on coming on board with this. So if you are, great. If you're not, hey, you're not, right? If you need to speak to our team, just fill out your phone number there and Jeff will call you back right after the event. So please do me a favor and fill out the poll, guys. We've got 50% of you have answered, which means another 50% of you are sleeping under a rock somewhere, right? Help a brother out, guys. We spent a lot of time here to make sure we can help you, but we can't help you if you don't let us know if you're planning on getting the system or not, right? Frank says, I got it on Tickblaze. I bought it on NinjaTrader and I won it on Tickblaze. Yeah, Frank, you've definitely got Lady Luck on your side. If you don't have a survey, that's okay, Richard. Just put a yes if you're planning on buying in the chat box. We'll pull the chat report. Yeah. If you're planning on purchasing, yes or no, just put it in the chat box. If you don't see the poll and you are purchasing, just put a yes. Yeah, I just need to know if you don't see the poll, but you are planning on purchasing, just put a yes. That way we know we can pull the chat report. Yeah. Not a problem, Richard. Yeah, not a problem. Andrea says yes. Perfect. Great, guys. Excellent. Well, I'm glad everybody enjoyed the presentation. Lots to discuss. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Tomorrow is going to be a really, really good event on the AMA. And yeah, we've got lots to look forward to. Yeah, appreciate you too, Sharpshooter. Yeah, lots going on, guys. So take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, take screenshots of your trades. We want to see you guys crushing it, right? You guys deserve to make money. And that's what this tool is designed to do, is to bring home the bacon. So yeah, would this work when the market is ranging? No, because the market's not going to be breaking structure in a ranging market. It's not going to be trading outside of ranging structure. Yeah. That's the whole point. It keeps you out of the market when it's not moving. Yeah. Great, guys. Have a fantastic day. Enjoy the rest of your trading evening, and we will see you on the flip side. Talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.